Welcome back to the Havoc Tier 8 Showdown, the 3 vs 3 tournament that was held on the 12th of May 2018, organised by Bert the Derp and for members of Havoc and their friends. Now it's come down to the final battle, the third battle of the final. It's STD versus Norfolk and Chance. And as we've mentioned before, STD comprises Tio and Sunska from Havoc 5 and dasmouse from W-UNI, and Norfolk and Chance is NJB Boys 2014, I'm Dead Again, and StinkyStonky, all of Havoc 5. And it's the final battle. There's one each for each of them in the final so far. Norfolk and Chance won the first battle in the final. STD won the second battle in the final, so it's 1-1, and the winner of this battle will be the one who takes away the tournament win and the prizes. So without further ado, we'll move to the live stream replay, and the commentary is by Fiats and General Disturbance, myself and Bert the Derp. And of course, I mentioned to you in the first battle of the final that I made a very poor prediction, and that prediction is about to be proved very, very wrong. So watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, the quickest victory is this last match, 4 minutes and 9 seconds.
All right,
Which
but
means
then we need to get
really good
draws,
for
so
STD.
we're not there yet. I think we're going to have a battle. These are not passive players. These are not camping teams, so...
Would you guys say that maybe STD had played a more terrible game in the first game to lure Norfolk and Chance into a false sense of security here in the second game before they just completely took out the rug from underneath their feet?
It was a different game.
They were being very cautious. They were covering both sides. Again, Tio holding back to actually see if anybody came up with a banana. But once he did, dasmouse was very slow to get engaged. Really, I think the battle was lost the moment they tried to push forward from the banana. And they basically split up, so to speak, into 2 separate groups.
Also keep in mind, the enemy bounced not once, but I think 2 crucial shots from the enemy. If those 2 shots actually would have hit, Norfolk would have claimed the victory straight away.
Yep.
Well, that is why we're choosing to say no premium shells, to make sure that such possibilities is a thing.
But let's see what we're going to get now, because not unlikely, teams will be a little bit more creative with their strategy.
Even though they have not changed the tanks. So they are very confident in their skills in their own tanks. And let's see, where is STD moving? STD is moving to the hill. Nigel, very saying about nobody's going to take the hill.
No, I don't think they will go to the hill. I think they are actually going to go up the 8 line.
No. I think they well, if they anticipated that technically...
Nigel, you were saying?
I'm wrong.
Wow.
It is crazy, but if they're gonna go, you know, last time the IS3 VK and Prot, they pushed a little bit and they lost, so, and all the other battles, they first control the map a little bit. So if they gamble on it, that they're gonna play a little bit more passive now, at least to start off with, or defensive, yes, it could absolutely work, but it is tricky.
We can also see here that STD is taking into account if the enemy team goes straight into their cap, because they have absolutely no vision. They could just easily turn down and barrel down the hill using the momentum of the slope to really get there faster.
You're not going to make it in time.
Of course, because if all 3 players get into the cap circle at the same time, it's 35 seconds. But if, let's say, Norfolk puts in 1 tank into the cap circle, they reel their hand to bait them out. They can easily use the momentum to just go in there and destroy a single tank.
NJB Boys thinks that they're actually coming around the railway line. He's just doing another check just to see down the 3 line, but I think he's going to go to the railway line now. Yep, he thinks they're going the other side. Once he realises they're not anywhere in sight, that's when they might start moving.
It's already an interesting point because now I think the ISPs will be in the enemy cap before.
Oh, the VK and the T28 are advancing on the banana.
If they go
But
now
where's,
into the cap,
but where's
it's game.
NJ going?
If they all three go into the cap, it's game. Probably. Well,
NJ is staying back in case if they have moved through
No,
the
he's
hill.
going.
And that is
He's
going. That is. No, yeah, he is now advancing. They are confident that the enemy team is camping and. Oh boy. This
crucial
are they,
mistake.
are they
this
gonna
could.
go? Are they going for the cap instantly?
STD
It
wasting
sure looks
no
like it.
time as we move towards the cap.
No, it's game.
It's a game.
If
Yeah,
they make
it's
the
game.
They've got
There
it.
is no way there is no way Norfolk can come back in time. If they put all three
Oh,
tanks
this
on the
is
base,
all- and they're not that far away from their base. If they
Whoever
only could
gets
see-
there first wins this tournament. Come on.
It's the first IS3. That's one. And that's
Two,
And now they
and
probably
three.
start shouting.
And here
they
comes
see
the third.
base. No!
Nigel, I think you have to publicly apologize to anyone who wanted to go to the
happy
hill.
to apologise. This totally outboxed me completely.
There
I
we
was
go. I'm
totally
dead again.
wrong.
Calling the GG already.
Yeah, I'm dead again.
I
knows it.
thought that nobody would go over the hill, but they.
Yeah.
I think that's the assumption that the other team made, that nobody would go over the hill, and it's
Yep.
because of that they lost.
That is awesome. And like I said, it's a very, very bold move. And every now and then, yeah, it works. And especially since the other team, if they paid attention to their play, they started off a little bit passive defensive and started to move later on. And they kind of expected them not to push instantly.
And also, Norfolk did not leave a single tank back in the. NJ was seemingly staying in the back to reset the base, but ultimately he left, and
Yeah.
probably that costed the match for him. Alright, so it means the winner, first place, is gonna be going for STD, namely dasmouse, sunska, and Theo. We're just gonna call him Theo because that is easier to. Theo or Dave, exactly. Second place is Norfolk and Chance with StinkyStonky, I'm Dead Again, and NJ Boys. So congratulations to everybody there. But we still have a match, people. We still have a match for the bronze medal. And that is gonna be Fluffy. Who did you tell
Okay.
to go to showdown number 6?
Currently we have a bit of an issue. West Killers has either withdrawn from the tournament because of time constraints, or we're going to have to postpone the bronze match to tomorrow to hopefully be able to see a winner who isn't winning just by technical victory.
Yeah.
Well, I was not planning any kind of postponing, so I'm gonna call it a victory for
What do you need to
what
kickers?
Unity kickers, indeed.
Okay, Tio is asking if we should if they should come up to us. I would say they deserve to come up here.
Yes, everybody can come up
Yes,
immediately.
absolutely.
User left your channel.
Also, please vote.
And what we'll do now is we'll watch the replay from the replay file. Okay, and we can see that. Oh, sorry, that's happened. We can see this team is headed off to the hill. This is STD winning the tournament by going to the hill. Now, I totally predicted this wrong. I thought that taking the heavies to the hill would be a bad mistake because they get trapped up there, they wouldn't be able to do anything about it, the other side would just cut straight across, use the short distance to cap out and win. But the other team were just too cautious, and they sat there and waited for the enemy to come to them. Meanwhile, the enemy was coming to them, but over the top of the hill, and they couldn't see them. And here we see NGB Boys is looking down the 3 line, trying to see if anybody was making an approach up that way or across the railway line. But he can't see anyone. As we pull back, he makes a quick run over to the other side of the building just to see if anybody's approaching across the railway. Trying to get a better view down the 3 line. Nope, still can't see anything. And they must be communicating to each other. Yeah, they've got no sight. No enemy in sight. He's looking down the railway line, can't see anyone. And so at this point, StinkyStonky and I'm Dead Again decide to go straight down the banana as quickly as they can, heading for the enemy cap. NJB Boys holds back for a little while, and then he also follows them, but he's coming down the 3 line. So they're coming down both sides, and they must be anticipating that they're going to engage the enemy at some point. You see there, StinkyStonky held back for a short while. Actual fact, that was because he got a Windows interrupt. Somebody was trying to contact him about an update to their software, and in the meantime, STD is about to enter the cap and start capping. 1 in the cap, 2 in the cap, and 3 in the cap now, and it's 30 seconds to go, and there's no way that that Norfolk and Chance are going to get back in this time. They've all decided just to go straight for the cap. They're not even bothering to return because it would just be pointless. There's no way they would make it up to their own cap in time. And at this point, I would think STD are breaking out the celebrations, patting themselves on the back because they've just won the tournament with a very bold move indeed, which I got totally wrong. I never thought somebody would go over the hill. Didn't anticipate it, and I don't think Norfolk and Chance did either, and that's why STD won. So that's the end of that replay. If we go to the replay file, we can see that they won by capturing the cap. No hit points were lost on either side, but sunska, Tio and dasmouse of STD managed to cap out to win, whilst I'm Dead Again, NJB Boys and StinkyStonky managed to get 2nd place in the tournament, even though they lost in the final. The final was decided 2-1 in favour of STD, so Norfolk and Chance did go down fighting. They did get at least 1 victory in the final, so congratulations to them. But I'm afraid it is a loss, and the win for the tournament goes to STD, which we were told is made up of the initials of the members of the team, Sunska, Tio and dasmouse. So we'll go straight back to the replay, because on the live stream, because now you'll hear from the teams.
Online as well.
User joined your channel.
Hi all.
Hello!
Hello!
Hello, everybody.
CV.
User joined your channel.
CV Tio.
Hello there.
Tio.
Hello, and I see a dasmouse, and I'm dead already here.
This was crazy, boys, what you did there in the last
User joined
game.
your
It
channel.
Was crazy.
Hey,
User joined your channel.
congratulations and celebration.
I called it totally wrong. I never thought anybody would go over the hill, but you absolutely
joined your channel.
completely made a
User
fool
joined
of
your
me. And
channel.
I'm very pleased that
Error.
you did, because it was a real good victory. Absolutely brilliant victory.
Well, I think I already said it at the beginning. You know, the other team, every battle they started off a little bit more defensive, and you know, as soon as they got a little bit of information, they moved forward. And they did the second last battle. They didn't. They pushed in quite instantly on the 8 line, and they lost that battle. So I was like, yeah, if they anticipated right, and they think they're going to play a little bit more careful at the beginning and move in when they have a little bit more information, it could actually work. And it was very fun to see, you know, how much everybody moved forward. And it was like, all right, if they stop the ice trees, they're going to lose. If they move in, they're going to win. And they just moved instantly in there. And I think, how far were you away? 5 seconds from the enemy base as well. So if the ice trees would have waited at one corner, they would have lost.
Did you see the VK100 going down Banana Road and he stopped all of a sudden? That was a Windows update popping up.
Oh I've had that as well. Yeah.
At least your Windows is up to date.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
Brilliant.
You didn't get any lose any hit points because of that. So.
Well, you stayed in the game though, didn't you, VK100?
Yeah, no,
Oh, that's
it just
Stopped
minimized my game client and popped up saying, "Do you want to play updates now or do it later?" Or you know,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
that's what
Jeez.
Well, at least we won sort of like legitimately. I think.
yeah, it wasn't. If it had been in the middle of a battle with
Yeah.
shells flying around, I would have been fucking raging. But you know,
Yeah.
Well, it was a fun battle to see, and I think actually the final was actually really competitive.
It was really great to see how the STD really took the lesson from the first battle in the finals and really applied the pressure in the second one.
Yep.
And really catching some people out on certain places before they could really gather up and do proper focus fire.
so I want to hear somebody how different nationalities pronounce our team name.
Norfolk and Chance.
I say Norfolk and Chance because I'm obviously English.
Norfolk.
Yeah,
No
Norfolk.
fucking chance.
I think that's the exactly correct pronunciation.
Norfolk and Chance.
Yeah, something is not allowing me to show the people who are currently watching the stream the results. So I'm gonna just read it out very fast, very quickly. Round 1, first battle were STD and Aduk, and STD completely obliterated Aduk in the first 2 games, not losing a single tank. Then, therefore, STD got through from round 1. In the round 1, the second battle was between Norfolk and Chance, between camping noobs. The interesting of this battle was that actually Norfolk and Chance had the camping tanks and camping noobs had the IS-3s. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they are calling themselves noobs. So Norfolk and Chance also got through from round 1 without losing a single tank. In the semifinals, West Killers, who got through by default, met STD, but ultimately got kicked out by them as well straight away. The other battle in the semifinals was the W-UNI 2 Kickers and Norfolk Chance. Norfolk Chance again kicked out the newcomers straight away. Therefore, in the finals, STD and Norfolk Chance were fighting against each other. The first battle was won by Norfolk Chance, and it was not that. It was quite. How should I? What did you guys say, Fitz and Nigel? It was one-sided the first match.
Yes, I mean it was pretty much on one side. I think actually it's that I mean obviously once they got the cap, it was all over, and there was no way that they were ever going to get shots into the guys who were hiding behind the church.
No, not that. But when they pushed on that T28 prod, it should have died when they pushed on it. 2 tanks, 2 R3s pushing on a prod. If you penetrate 2 shots both, then it's gone. And they kind of failed to do that. And they, by bouncing too many shots, the IS3 could help them out. And then it was game because they lost 2 tanks fighting a prod first alone and then with an IS3. But I think, they could have won over there as well, and, it was an interesting battle.
Then came the second battle between STD and Norfolk, which was a much more, what should I say, it was much more, not competitive, interesting and intense, exactly, because Norfolk actually tried to advance on the banana, and STD reacted beautifully, and actually trapped them. Also, a little RNG popped up into the game. Therefore, if Norfolk didn't bounce those 2 shots at the very end, they could have claimed the victory, but because of that, STD ultimately destroyed them. Therefore, we had a third match, which was a complete madness. It was a complete madness. Before we started playing, Nigel stated that, when I asked, what kind of tactic do you think the teams are going to use? Nigel stated that nobody is definitely going to go to the hill. And there we go. The game deciding match was won by the hill. Nigel, please apologize.
I apologise. I was totally wrong. I got it completely wrong. And of course, I think the fact is that STD made that decision to go hill because it was totally the opposite of what Norfolk and Chance thought they would do. I think Norfolk and Chance thought that they would stay low, not that they would go over the top, because it was just too much of a wild card to play.
No.
Yeah, but you also need the time.
One of our tanks got spotted in the early games on the 3-4 line, and we thought, okay, they're going railway. You know, it's 51. One of the tanks. Nope.
Our fear as well was that if they were camping and that just the time ran out, then the victory we had was in the last few seconds of the victory that they had plenty of time. So if it had run to a draw, then they would have won on the time thing. So we couldn't
sit back.
Just wait for them to come over the hill. If they were camping in their spawn area or camping on the railway lines or something like that, then it would have been a draw and we would have lost. So we had to find them.
Unfortunately,
we found them via the capping siren.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Dasmouse, do you have something to say to this? Who came up with the idea to go through the hill?
That was
me. That was Teo.
Tell me, Teo, what kind of medicine did you take to come up with that?
Well, we had the idea of going down the railway line or the over the hill. Initially, I was like, well, look, the hill might be too long. The railway line, at least we can go down the railway line. But then Sunska went, yeah, let's try the hill. So we did, and so we went over the hill. And at the top of the hill, I was like panicking and like, we ain't got time to get back if they get on cap now.
No.
And then basically we're going down the hill. Each road we were just saying, anyone being spotted? No, no. And then we just kept on going. So every time we crossed a path, we were just like, anyone spotted? Just to make sure no one, or basically if anyone got spotted, we'd know roughly where they were. The idea was to get on cap, and then obviously just have someone block if need be.
Were you guys breaking out with champagne by the moment you guys entered the cap circle altogether?
No, I mean, I was worried that the T-28 was still defending somewhere. But when we saw two of them get on cap, I thought, well, we've got a good chance here, as long as they can only come from one direction, so they could only really hit one of our tanks, so we should win.
NJ, this question is for you. In the last battle, you were quite far in the back at the rails, and you waited quite long until you finally decided to move up to the enemy base. Don't you think that it would have been better for you to stay there in case if something crazy happens like this, and then you could have done a resetting shot?
We decided to go for their cap, and then I was deciding whether to go join up with them or we thought they were still in their cap and attack them from a different angle.
With hindsight, but that would obviously have been the better thing to do. But when we started pushing the Banana Road, the call was if they are camping and we run out of time, then they will win, because our victory was in the last few seconds and their victory had plenty of time. So that was our fear, that they could be camping up the road by the hill, they could be camping but in their cap circle by the church, they could be in the little roads in the buildings, they could have been camping on the railway line, and the time would have just run out and we would have lost.
Yeah, but you do know that the third game is not actually the tiebreaker game. So in the third game, draw is still allowed. The fourth game is always the tiebreaker. It is in the rules.
Okay, I'm sure, but
it is in the rules that I stated it at the very beginning, that how is the game is gonna proceed. But later on, never mind, people. It was an amazing match, and for the third place, now the stream watchers can also see. For the bronze match, we have W-UNI 2 kickers immediately won, because West Killers probably had other stuff to do, and therefore they had to withdraw from the battle. So W-UNI 2 kickers came bronze medal. Congratulations for you guys. Tell me something, people. What do you think about your matches? What went wrong? Where do you think you could have done much more?
Just trying to fight a VK it's difficult.
Yeah. You could just end it there with just saying trying to fight a VK.
Yeah. That's pretty much all it turned into, is the VK just it was too difficult to pin whenever you've got, the rest of the fight going on as well.
Yeah, but
So you're saying the VK became the deciding factor for the victory of both of these games?
Yes.
Yes.
And the IS-3 when I was on Banana Road defending Banana Road in the second game of the final.
Oh,
I
that reverse
hit
side
the VK 3 times in its in its cupola and did not do anything.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
just-
I see.
That's
It
the
was
just like to-
balanced around premium ammo, and we weren't allowed to use premium ammo. So
Or premium tanks.
exactly.
I would just like IS3 first game for my team. I could push someone off the ridge, and then I jumped on one the next game. Because why not?
That was the
Yeah,
comedy
that was a
kills.
really
that was
they
good.
were-
Those
That was
comedy
good
kills were fantastic.
So,
Also, awesome way to show dominance.
yeah, guys, this means now the end of the Havoc Tier 8 Showdown. Thank you everyone for participating and playing this tournament. I hope we can repeat it in the future, even with old teams, with new teams. It would be very nice to have Pete and Nigel again as expert commentators, because it was very satisfying listening to you guys as expert players and expert spectators watching the game, commentating the game. And I would like to also have a little feedback from the Twitch watchers. Actually, this is going to be the first time I ever go to my own Twitch channel's chat and see if anyone wrote something.
And did they write anything?
No, you guys did fine.
Maybe they're going to give you all sorts of advice, like you should have done this, you should. Oh yeah, that's.
You should have remembered to switch the map around.
yeah, that was
We can
that
do the
was a
stream
surprise
gathering
whenever we spawned
later
on
on.
the same spawn twice in a row. I was like, oh crap! I only had one strat ready for each
Well,
side.
I thought it was brilliant, actually. I really enjoyed this, and especially some of the comedy kills. They were just hilarious, and yeah, it was great to watch it and to see the different tactics being played, because you could see the different teams were changing their tactics on the move, on the fly, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But you also saw some bold moves in terms of going after and isolating individuals and then taking them out of the game. But obviously, as Feats has already said, the one move that could have actually been game-winning was when they failed to isolate and kill the T-28 prototype, and that sort of like changed the whole dynamic of that game. That was the one moment I think that really changed it all around.
But I think it was a decent tournament. I think for next time, yeah, you should have some sort of award for the person who makes the craziest kill. And I think this time it would have been the jump or the push off the hill on Himmelsdorf, which made me laugh the most.
Well, I don't know, the jump off the hill onto the tank.
That technically did not kill him.
That's true.
Thankfully, you don't have to decide because they were both done by NJ. So.
Yeah, that is true. But I think the push off was the nicest one. It made me laugh hardest.
Yes, I think
Because all I was thinking with the jump one is like, they've packed up against the hill. I can jump on them now.
Also, you have the overmatch to be able to throw away your health points like that.
And I was really sitting here like, jump! Yes, he jumped!
Yeah, tell me something, MJ. Did you yell, "This is Sparta" at the very end?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Now that this is brought
did.
to attention, do you regret not yelling "This is Sparta"?
Yes.
Do not worry. In the stream, I did it for you.
Well, Bert, we have to sort out who gets their prizes and so on.
Yeah, we will. So I'm gonna sort out the prices as well. Let me check. So the first, the winner team, STD. Your prize will be a Churchill Street Premium Heavy Tank in the garage, or if you already have it, obviously, then the amount of gold that needs to be given for the Churchill Street. So congratulations for all of you for participating and winning everything.
Congrats.
It's a high congrats for all of you. Second place, Norfolk. You wait, I forgot this. For STD? No, it's not working. Okay, never mind. So, Norfolk, you are second place. You are gonna be given 1,000 gold per each player. Congratulations. Use it well. Use it for premium shells or gold shells, just to practice.
You
how
can't
to
do
penetrate.
that anymore. You can't do that anymore.
Just use
You
it.
missed it by a week.
Use it wise. And what you need 2 kickers. By the way, who came up with that idea?
the name.
Yeah,
That'd
the
be
name.
me.
I was going to say, it's obviously not the Havoc 5 member in that class.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
that's
say.
it.
I was originally gonna go with puppy kickers, but it wasn't. It didn't fit on the Google Docs. So
You know, we could have made the Google Docs bigger, so
Yeah,
there was
could
room
have.
for your name.
funny.
All right, you guys are third place. Congratulations. Your prize is 500 gold per each player. So if anyone would like to say something to the audience, do so. And other than that, I'm gonna be calling it off. And thank you for everybody watching the stream as well. See you guys next time. And hopefully next time we will have much more teams. Maybe we can make it even up to 10 teams. Next time maybe the prize will be even bigger. How about that?
Technically, you want 8 or 16 or 32 teams.
That would be good. Let's go
would
for
be ideal.
64 teams. Let's do that.
Yeah.
If it's 64 team, we will need more people to also be hosting the tournament because we can't do it in the same time.
We have to
schedule we
start
did it
2
here.
o'clock in the afternoon as well.
Yeah, if we do it by this kind of stuff, then yeah, but we'll probably have to like do multiple rounds or something. I don't really know.
At the same
don't
time.
consider it right now. Yeah.
Do we get a cup on TS? Or is that just whole wide?
Oh yeah, does STD get the 3v3 tag?
Well,
And it does. And
I don't know.
I didn't talk with Boom about this, but I will do. I already wrote up the nicknames, so if Boom is gonna accept it, then obviously you will receive the 3v3 tag.
Yay!
Well, thanks very much indeed for watching. That's the end of the 3 versus 3 Havoc Tier 8 Showdown. And I hope you all enjoyed these videos. And a big thanks to Bert the Derp for arranging it all, because it was a real big success, very enjoyable. And I do hope you all take part next time there's a showdown, because this one was a lot of fun. And next time I'll probably have a different commentator to commentate with, because I think Fiat's is going to be taking part next time. And I'll definitely won't take part because I'm not that good. Anyway, thanks very much for watching.